Hi and welcome to Vox Singing Academy's video podcast number 24. And today again I have one of our most senior teacher here with us today, Ryan.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good, mate. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
today we're going to be discussing the subject of education and tuition, okay?
Yeah.
But also more so long form education. So education from primary school all the way through. And I know that you're highly educated, so that's what we're going to talk to you about, your process and what you've done and where that's brought you to now in your artistic life and your career as well too. Yeah. Before we go into that though, guys, please check out, we have a couple of different YouTube channels. We have this one here, which is the Vox Singing Academy YouTube channel. We also have the 5 Minute Singer channel and Ask Vox Singing Academy channel. The Ask Vox Singing Academy channel, we answer different questions about the voice in a shorter, more compact way. And follow us on Facebook. We're both on Facebook as well too. So get us on Facebook and Instagram as well too if you want to keep up with what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Ryan, you've got a very long list of credentials here. You started singing when you were 6. Okay.
Yeah.
So you come from a very bohemian musical family. You went and studied at La Trobe University in Bandura, and you studied theatre and music there. And you got a BA in arts. You got a bachelor in arts.
In honours.
In honours as well. So you had to throw that one in there, right? Excellent.
It's a whole year of my life.
Yes, fantastic. Then you went to Deakin, and you've got a BA in teaching at Deakin for primary and secondary as well too.
Yeah, in music and drama.
Excellent, fantastic.
So.
And you've done numerous theatre productions. You've been in film and TV. You've performed live with bands for more than 20 years. And you're currently now in Antonymous and also a solo performer and also teaching for Vox Singing Academy, which you have been close up to nearly a decade doing that. So just give us a little bit of a run through about where you've come from and like, you know, growing up in a musical family. I know that one of our other teachers, Emily's, comes from a very musical family.
She's very musical.
But you were telling me before we shot this that it was a different thing to your other friends in the way that they grew up.
Yeah, well, I guess firstly, you know, I grew up going 3 days a week to church. So 3 days a week, singing 3 times a day. So you go there, so Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or Sunday I think it was. So you sing, break, listening, so that's when you fall asleep. Sing in the middle and then sing at the end. So there's like basically I'm rehearsing 3 days a week, and this was going on up till I was 15.
Wow.
So you know, and there's no way you can't learn how to sing when you're doing it that much. It's just impossible.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like the songs, or you know, I didn't really know any different.
Yeah.
So I just learned as I was doing that, and I think a lot of people do that as well. They grew up similar to that, I think, but not a lot of people these days, though, I don't think do that.
Are you talking your musical family or singing that much?
A bit of both, like, because there was always music at home as well. Dad played accordion, he played guitar, he I think he even played the washboard thing. His whole family were musical, and it was just normal.
Singers?
They all sang. He sang Johnny Cash, he sang a bunch of other, so he played keyboard, so just grew up with it.
Just with the choir thing, were you doing? Were you singing solo for choir?
No,
obviously in a group. Was it all in a group?
Yeah, it was all in a group. But it's a big thing because there's probably more than 100, 200 people there, and you gotta find your own voice in there. So there's this subconscious learning that I did with harmonies and just making sure I sing something that singing something that sounds good.
Especially to do with harmony in a choir.
And there was no choir director. It was just you sing. It was a free for all.
Did you know where you
church
were?
Service,
were you the bass, baritone, tenor?
I had no idea
alto,
what
soprano,
any of that stuff. It was just find your own voice on your own.
Were.
It was church service basically. It was so there'd be someone up the top singing along, leading, but there was no teaching of what to do. It was just, it was just what you did. So
wow,
it was good. I learned a lot. It was I mean, what I was saying is a lot of people don't grow up with that.
Yep.
So they don't. They might sing it with the radio or something, but they don't sing with a massive group of people.
Yeah.
And I went on to do that at high school as well.
Yeah.
I was always in the choir every year.
Yeah.
At high school. I learnt piano, clarinet, and then I went on to guitar after that.
Yeah.
In high school. So yeah, music was drums as well. Music was always there.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
So multi-instrumentalist. Herbert, that's all, folks. But it was very interesting that you said that you were singing and you grew up with that and you kept it going through.
Yeah.
I know I was also we sung in church a lot. Again, I had a Catholic upbringing, so singing in church was just part of what you did. So it was the first introduction to singing, and then doing, we used to have assembly every Friday, so you used to be able to perform an assembly a couple of times a year and do a production basically.
Oh, that's good.
Every year did a production, so that would pretty much go around every sort of 6 weeks. You had a production going, so that was what was with our school as well too.
Well, we didn't do productions, but what I learnt, actually, this is all stuff that I just grew up with, but I had to do speeches. So I grew up doing speeches as a kid.
That's fantastic. Though.
Yeah,
that's great.
It was all, it was good because I got an idea of performing. I was terrified every time. I was a very nervous kid. But yeah, there's two things, isn't it, that people don't like? Speaking in public and singing in public. Yeah. Before death, I think that.
It is a big fear of a lot of people. You ask a lot of just people about speaking in public. It's definitely a skill. Yeah, so it's a skill.
Yeah, I had a little bit of that performance part, but everything else was just with the group. And I guess after that, when I was in high school, I went into another school. So because I sort of flunked out on year 12, and then I really did it again, and I did another year 12, and I just did all the music subjects. I just did what my heart wanted to do.
That's great.
And I committed then to learning how to play properly, learning how to sing a bit better. I had guitar lessons, I had this and this going on, and I wanted to join a band and all this stuff. So
you were in a band, and then through 20s.
Yeah, the dregs.
And then you had lessons around that time. I remember you used to come into the Noble Park, the then Noble Park studio.
Well, yeah, because I was a mature age student. When I went back, I was actually 19, and then when I went to get lessons, I was 22. Yeah, and so I was a late bloomer. I was a late bloomer.
It's never too late. I think that's a great thing with singing. It's never too late. As long as you can speak. If you can speak, you can sing. Yeah, basically. Yeah. So very, very important that and always change your you can always change your career and the course that you're going as well too. So I think it's really important for kids this day and age to try as many things as they possibly can. Try to find their passion. Yeah,
that's what I did, and here I am now. I guess there was a little bit in between that as well. But it was how it started.
And then so after that, you went to La Trobe and then Deakin, and tell us a little bit about that and how that education process being at universities, at two very, very good universities, especially back then. I know that the La Trobe music program has now closed down, unfortunately.
The year I went, it closed down the year before.
So that would have been the 90s then, right?
It was just at the end of the 90s. I went 99, 2000.
I remember I was doing some stuff down there, and I remember when it closed down.
And I went there and I was like, great.
It was actually a great music department.
Yeah, they said that.
Yeah, it was excellent. Yeah, because that was still going, and then when that stopped, all these little independent like SAE started up and JMC and they all and
Vox Hill maybe
Polytechnics and stuff. Well that's it. Vox Hill came up after that as well too. It was a bit of I was shocked that music department closed down there because it was such I thought a great music department.
It was a shame I didn't get to see it, but I'll have to take your word for it because I missed the boat on that one. But I'll just rewind a little bit for that. But what inspired me to go to uni was actually something that happened in high school in '97. I was doing theatre every day. I was in probably 4 or 5 different theatre shows, and I was getting really confident. I was a very nervous kid, and I I built my confidence up, and I was doing shows even though I was terrified. So it was just all through the year. So after that, I was like, right, I'm going to go to uni and I'm going to keep going with this stuff. And then I went into uni doing sort of a mishmash arts degree. But then what happened was I ended up finding my place and realizing who I was, and I was like, no, I want to do this. I want to do cinema and theatre, because there was no arts, there was no music degree there. So I was still doing my music, and I did that, and that was sort of helping me be a performer anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you went to Deakin, and you have a bachelor of teaching, so you can teach.
Yeah.
You can teach. You're qualified to teach at primary and secondary schools.
Yeah. Well, what happened just before that was I did honours. So I had the choice to go and do honours, and I was like, what am I going to do? So I did an honours degree on how actors become actors. So basically learning how to become an actor, which is sort of what I call a performer. Yep. So singers are performers too.
Yep.
And physically, mentally, how you prepare yourself to, convey a message to whoever you're singing to, or whoever So that was what I did my whole thesis on. I was doing it all on that. I've got a book actually. I should have brought it, but.
And that took you a year.
Yeah, and then I went from that into the teaching degree.
Yep.
Yeah, so I did music. I focused on music and drama, and it was great. It was it was terrifying. Teaching, if anyone knows, teaching a classroom of kids, you've got to be pretty on, and I learned a lot from that. So, teaching one kid, easy. Teaching 20. So I learned a lot of how to capture their attention. So one of the classes I did, I was going to tell a story, a little story about how, well, what am I good at? What am I specializing in with these kids? Because what I did is I taught them the blues. I did a 1 week project where they had to come up and write their own song. So the whole class, didn't matter their music ability. I basically interweaved it with English, and
wow.
So they had to write their song, they had to listen to a song, they had to write it on their own. Every single kid wrote a song about it, and I actually performed at the start. I did my own little, so I was always using music and guitar and to do stuff. By the end of it, all the kids had performed. They got dressed up, they were fully into it.
That's fantastic.
They had their own little stage, and they just went with it and flew. So I was really proud of myself from that moment, and then I realized that I had something there in that class, that pedagogy that I taught them, how I did it. The teacher was standing back and going, well, never had this before.
Wow.
No one's ever played guitar and then taught a lesson. So I was doing it and showing them how to do it.
That's fantastic.
So that was my big moment, that one.
Right, what skills have you taken from your university or your whole education up to that time, and how do you think that's helped you out? One, as a teacher for Vox Singing Academy, and two, as a general performer.
If you know how to, I come from, I guess I never really realised it, but I was always musical, and I grew up with a sort of belief that I wasn't. I always thought, I'm not a musician. Musicians are these people that are out there somewhere. Yeah. So I always thought, I'll do teaching because I know music and that, but I should have had that other mindset. So I know how it feels to be a beginner that feels like they want to learn how to be better, and to go, no, you can do it. You can. I'm a teacher that was already singing, that learnt how to sing better, and if I can do it, they can do it. Yeah. So I know how to guide people and how to build themselves up, especially with self-belief and confidence with doing the best they can do, because there is a lot of that doubt out there, am I good enough, and this and yeah.
But it's exactly what you said when you said you grew up in a musical family, but you didn't consider yourself good enough.
Yeah, I didn't.
Because you probably had all these people performing around you. So
yeah,
I think that's a really big thing. I think that's what our next podcast is going to be on is finding your own voice.
Well, even at high school, everyone that I hang out with played an instrument. They sang. They did this. They did that. So there's always the bar was high all the time. So you always.
It's always great to be around people like that because you're only going to get better if you're.
But you don't. I didn't realize it
yourself.
I didn't realize it. I was always like, oh man, these guys are awesome. But then I didn't think I was awesome. I remember once I sang at a party, just randomly, and everyone was like, "Whoa, man, that was awesome! You did Tenacious D perfectly."
Yeah.
You know, Jack Black, and I was like, "Really?"
Yeah, you just got to do it, really.
So
Don't
there was stuff like that all through my life. I was always doing that.
Fantastic.
And even I was always performing even when I was teaching. I guess that's another thing. So with my degree, just another little story. If it's okay, sorry, going off tangent. But when I was doing my teaching degree, I always used to watch teachers and they're like, okay, today we're going to learn about this, blah blah blah. So with my music, I was always like, oh, so we're up here, and then so guys, okay, so what I was always intonating when I was speaking. So there was numerous speeches I had to give, group speeches, pausing, having pauses, right time.
Very important.
Jokes. I was always telling jokes, always being the jokester when I was trying to teach.
You still are.
Yeah,
your lessons are very fun.
I've got to pull it back a bit, but yeah. So I was like, if you're laughing, you're learning. I always thought. And the other thing was, I always brought music into it. So one of my big speeches was in front of 300 people. It was all the other teachers that were learning. I started playing guitar, and I was just singing a joke song that I made up. I just mucking around. I don't even know what it was, but it was to do with the topic, and everyone was like, attention was there. Straight away, I had them. I was like, as soon as I played, I just walked up, didn't say anything, just played, and started doing some jokey sort of song, and then I had them, and then I went straight into the topic.
Yeah, because it was probably something different to what they wouldn't have normally experienced there.
But I was always using music. I was always trying to do that, and I couldn't fight it.
Wow, that's great.
So I tried to weave those two things together, music and teaching.
Yep.
And here I am. Sort of.
You're very, very busy, and that's the main thing, is that you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
And you're taking what you've learned, you're giving it to, especially all of the Vox Singing Academy students, because you're a very, very busy teacher and a very popular teacher. We have a lot of word of mouth.
Thanks.
From you as well too. So a lot of them say, hey, look, I want Ryan.
Guys.
I think you get two return students this week as well too. That's coming back.
Yeah. It was surprising too. So some people that come back, I'm surprised, because sometimes they don't tell you why they finish, but then you realise when they come back, other stuff was going on in their life that was irrelevant to me. It was
It's always unfinished business as well too.
Yeah.
Some people need to take it to the next level. Some people just need time to consume what you've given them as well too.
Yeah.
And then come back. So some people like chunking, doing it in blocks.
Yeah.
So I've got a student that has once a year. He has a 10-week term. He's been doing it for about 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So it's one block, just sharpen up his skills, and then just 10 weeks and that's it.
Yeah,
once a year.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, well, you've been doing it longer than all of us. So, 1993, and I think I've come back 3 times, and I'm back again. I'm learning again. So, yeah, I did it a little bit like that, but over 5-year periods, I think.
Over a big space of time. Is there anything else that you want to add to that, Ryan?
A couple of points with my experience with teaching. I think it gives me a bit of an advantage. I don't want to talk myself up, like that. I sort of understand the way people learn. I think is the big thing. I really got pushed at teaching at college was everyone learns differently.
Was that for your Bachelor of Teaching? Or?
Yeah. Okay. It was more so for that. So everyone learns differently. Everyone takes a different way of learning. I think it was one of the syllabuses we went through was the 7 intelligences of learning, and it's gone up to 9 or 10, or it's probably more than that now. But there was auditory, visual, literacy, examples. So physically doing an example, mathematically. There was I think there was a kinesiology, like touch. Not kinesiology, kinetic. There was a whole bunch of different, and there was also one to do with feel. So so some students go by feel more and get nurtured. They need to be nurtured into learning. So
it's very interesting.
Yeah. So I sort of learn a lot from that, and I always try and suss out each student to see which one of those is going to help them.
Is this fantastic?
is this person more of a visual person? Like sometimes I'll draw maps for them and draw whatever I need to do, numbers, or are they more a sensitive person? Do I need to nurture them a bit more and be less harsh not harsh, but less direct with instruction, So I've sort of developed my whole life like that, doing that. So, but I'm always trying to improve on that as well. Just by observing.
We do something very similar at Vox Singing Academy. When we first have the student come in, we assess the personality, and then we ask them the group of questions that we try to find out as much about their artistic self and what they want to achieve in the class as we possibly can in the first couple of minutes. So it's very similar. So we really got to gauge the way we're going to teach the student from them, whether they're going to be nervous, whether they're not responding, whether they are responding, whether they're confident, whether they're not confident. So
and then not only that, but it's different each time they come in. They might come in more confident,
a different mindset.
So it's so it's always every lesson just being aware of how will I teach this person today. To get the best out of their voice, basically.
Fantastic.
So I feel like that's given me a big advantage.
It definitely has, and that's why we've done this segment for, is about your education and the points that you're taking from your education and put it into private singing lessons.
I think another thing too is like I always try and if it's not working, if something's not working, I've got backup plans of how to go around to get them to learn, and it's always about how they need to learn, not about how not so much always, but the way that they learn, I base my teaching around that. So it's not my way or the highway. It's
You're trying to find the best pathway to get the best result.
So that's a little bit about my how.
Fantastic. Is there anything else that you want to pop in there, Ryan, before we wrap things up?
No, I find that teaching is really, really rewarding, and I found that I feel very lucky and very grateful and blessed that I can do both. That I can teach and help people, and then also do music and singing and perform. It's great. Like I turn up to class and I actually have to be more aware of how this is awesome every day. Like I always do, but it's just like, man, there's people come into classes and it's obvious, and it's obvious that it's the job that I love, and I'm sure you would have the same thing too. So
look, I'm very grateful to be making a living for so long, and it's great.
I feel grateful.
That's the word. We've got a great syllabus. We've got a great team with us now, so it's a little bit easier now. Because we know how we're going to teach and the expectation that needs to be met for every teacher.
And I have to actually say thank you to you, because I remember the day that I actually called you. And I was asking for an admin job. I think admin's the least qualified thing I could actually ever do. I'm terrible at admin, but I'm getting better at it. That's one of the things I'm working on. And you go, nah, man, why don't you just do some singing teaching? I was just like, what are you talking about? Because I hadn't seen Peter for years. I hadn't seen him for years, and you must have remembered and gone. And I was like, that blew me away, because I was like, well, he thinks that I can teach singing. Like I thought this was just another life. This is Ryan in another lifetime that will be able to do this. So that was a big thing, and then that helped a lot. So thank you to you.
Yeah, you got to believe in yourself. You got to back yourself, and I've always believed you. So
you could have just gone, I don't have time for you, mate. Can you call later? And then what you could have said anything, but you were just in the moment there with me, and it was like, because that was a big moment there, and I was like, oh, wow. He's like, okay, just
fantastic,
another direction. So there you go.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Well, look, we'll wrap things up, Ryan. If you've gone over all your subject matter, but it was really just that one key element about teaching different people in different ways to get the best out of their lesson.
Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
High five. Thank you for coming in. Really appreciate it. Guys, if you like this channel, please subscribe to the link below, and you'll be getting a lot more free information like this coming shortly. Thanks for coming in, Ryan. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon, guys.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.